Hey guys, I'm back. So in today's video, and I'm a little late on this one, so bear with me, but we still gotta do what we gotta do, okay? In today's video, we're going to be talking about how Toni was out here cursing Blac Chyna out. I mean, Angela White. Hey, Miss Angela. Yeah, Toni was out here cursing her child, her only child out, to the gods. For what? Like, for what? You know, nobody never really knows why she's cursing her only child out over the internet. So I want to do a deep dive, sort of, kind of, on Miss Toni, you know. I just want to get in her ass, you know. Tokyo, who hurt you? Who hurt you, Tokyo? I know you're about 50 years old at this point. You know, I opted out of doing the whole psychological deep dive on you because I can see the hurt. I can see the pain. I don't necessarily need to know, okay, your daddy wasn't there, and mama was this and this and that. I can see that you are trying to pass down a generational curse that maybe your mother passed down to you, and you tried passing it down to Chyna. I mean, Angela White, let me get it right. You tried passing it down to your baby, but it didn't work. You know, Miss Angela went out there and hustled and grind her fucking ass off and, you know, met the right people along her journey, and she has become a very successful entrepreneur till this point, you know, in her life. And the world is proud of Miss Angela White. Miss Angela has changed herself in so many ways. You know, she's on her sobriety journey. She is, you know, staying away from these fucking warlocks and low vibrational ass men. She is apparently not giving that cootie cat out, you know, and, you know, she is just doing her damn thing, and the world is proud of her. And then we look around, and her mother is nowhere around clapping for her. Her mother is not there cheering her on. Her mother is there cursing her the fuck out. Who hurt you, Tokyo? Who? Something deep within me tells me that it was your mother. Your mother was just how you are today with Chyna. And instead of healing the generational curse that has your bloodline in a fucking chokehold, you decide to get on the internet every fucking month or so to curse your baby out. Your only baby. You didn't have any more children, Tokyo. You have one child, your baby girl. And you decide to curse her out every fucking month. Why? Because she stopped sending you money for that weed or that other shit that you want, allegedly? You need help, Tokyo. Tokyo needs to check herself into therapy. She needs to seek spiritual guidance ASAP. And she needs to stop smoking that shit. It's not cute. It's not cute. You're 50 years old. You have 2 grandbabies and a very successful daughter. And the only thing you can show for is how fucking bizarre and muy loco you are. You're fucking nuts, Tokyo. And I can tell where that shit comes from. You are in pain. You have to heal the pain, Tokyo. It's not cute. And you wonder why Angela wants nothing to do with your ass. She probably just send you a couple dollars every now and again, and that's it. Because who the fuck would want to be around somebody in their right mind? Who the fuck would want to be around somebody like that? Even if it is your own fucking mother, I don't give a fuck. I would do the same shit. But yeah, I wouldn't even be sending your ass nothing. Because you're not going to be cursing me out on the internet and then calling my phone crying. Please, baby, send me $200, baby. I'm stressed. I need to smoke some weed. Please, baby. Hell no. You need help, Tokyo. Seriously, you need to leave the men alone that you're fucking with, because you're low vibrational and so are those men that you're dealing with. You need to stop smoking that shit, because it ain't doing nothing but keeping you in low energy levels and keeping you depressed and stressed and just keeping you fucking chaotic, you know, internally. And you need to check yourself into a rehab, check yourself into therapy, check yourself in with a spiritualist. You need lots of help, Tokyo. Lots of help. And for those of y'all that are out here and y'all be getting in Chyna's ass, Angela, excuse me, excuse me. For those of y'all that are out here that be getting in Miss Angela White's ass, talking about, well, that's your mother, and you know, why is she ignoring her mother, and why is she, you know, not saying anything when her mother's saying. The best way, right, to handle a situation like that is just to ignore it. You have to let the flies buzz. You have to let the bees buzz. You gotta let shit just, you gotta let the birds chirp. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot, what you give energy to, you're feeding it, right? So in order to keep yourself detached from a situation, and in order to, you know, make the situation go away, to go from this to this and this, the fuck away, you have to ignore that shit. Because see, God is the overseer. I'm gonna keep telling y'all this, okay? I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to myself in this fucking wig, y'all. I don't know, I don't like it. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. But seriously though, God is the overseer of this life, you know, and God sees everything, and God knows that when he placed Miss Angela White in Toni's womb, he knew that Toni was going to fail the mission. But he knew that he had to use Toni's womb to birth a star, right? Which is Chyna. I mean, Miss Angela White. I'm so sorry, y'all. But, you know, so God knows what he was doing. You know, it's not a shocker to God how Toni gets up here every month and she's barking and shit like a fucking chihuahua at Chyna. And we all know for what it has to be about money. Oh, Chyna's a bitch, and Chyna's a this, and she don't do this, and she da-da-da-da-da, and blah, 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 blah. It's all because Chyna's not sending her any money. It's all because Chyna, listen, I'm sorry, Miss Chyna, okay, that I'm calling you Miss Chyna, but, I've been calling you that for years, you know. I haven't really adapted to Miss Angela White. I'm sorry, girl. Please forgive me, girl. But, what was I saying? What the fuck was I saying? But it's like, oh God, what was I saying? I'll be right back. Yeah, so I was just talking about the Almighty God. You know, God is the overseer of this life. God is the overseer of every person on this life. God is the overseer of every problem on this life. And, you know, because God is watching and waiting and watching and waiting, watching and waiting, and, you know, seeing how people act, seeing how they react, seeing how they reflect, right? These are the three important words that you need to always remember. How a person acts, how a person reacts, and then how a person reflects, right? So God is always watching that, you know, and God sees Tonio, Tokyo Toni, acting a fool on the internet, you know, and he's not proud of her. He knows that she has yet to do the healing work that she needs to do, and she has yet to check herself in therapy. She has yet to, you know, stop cursing her child out, and, you know, she has yet to just truly find herself. You know, I think something happened with Tokyo Toni where, you know, once China started to receive that recognition and China started to grow and elevate in her life, I believe that it stirred up a jealousy within her mother, because she was trying to understand, well, why didn't this happen for me, you know, and this happened for my child? But she is not understanding that Miss Angela White has done the work. Miss Angela White, she has hustled. Miss Angela White has more kids than you, Tokyo Toni. She just got in alignment. You know, something happens when you show the Lord that you're ready to get in alignment. You stop fucking around with these low vibrational dudes. You stop fucking putting toxic shit. Somebody don't want me to say this shit. You stop putting toxic shit in your body, you know, drugs and weed and alcohol and shit like that. You know, you begin to pray more. You become more of a believer. Your faith increases. You lose all the lack within you, right? And you just become ready. You know, you become renewed. And that is you showing the Lord that you're ready to become renewed and you're ready to be a new person. And, you know, you're just ready, you know. Unfortunately for Tokyo Toni has never gotten in alignment. She is still doing the same things that she was doing when she was 20. Meanwhile, this woman is 50 years old. I don't know who this is for, but if you are 50 years old and you are still doing the things that you were doing, that you were doing when you were 21 and in your 20s, you have a problem, right? Because at some point you were supposed to evolve, right? At some point you were supposed to elevate. At some point you were supposed to change. You know, you were supposed to make the switch. And it's sad to say, but you are stuck in a cycle. You know, and I know that's so hard to hear, you know, like that you're stuck, because who wants to honestly believe that they're stuck somewhere? But the truth is you are, you know. You're gonna have to do a lot of soul searching, Tokyo Toni, and not just Tokyo Toni, but whoever else this is resonating with. Every decade in your life, you are supposed to evolve, you know, from your childhood, then you get into your teenage years, and then you get to your 20s and your 30s and your 40s. You see where I'm going with this? You're supposed to evolve. You're supposed to become better, because the older we get, we're not only supposed to get wiser and smarter, stronger and better, but you are getting closer in age to going home to the Lord. And when you return home to the Lord, you're supposed to return home light as a feather. Light as a feather. You are not supposed to return home, you know, carrying the stuff from your childhood when you're 80, carrying all the heartbreaks when you're 70, carrying all your failures when you're 60. You see what I'm saying? The older you get, you're supposed to be releasing and letting shit go, giving it to the Lord, telling the Lord, cleanse me, Lord, bless me, Lord, love me, Lord, guide me, Lord, help me release, Lord, okay? And you know, that's just how life is supposed to go, you know. And unfortunately for Miss Tokyo Toni, she has never done the work, you know. So like I said a few minutes ago, I think she needs a lot of work. I think she actually needs to, let's do a count up of all the things she needs to do if she ever sees this. She needs to, first of all, she needs to renew her faith, right? I can see that she has lost her faith a long time ago, which is why she is acting out of order. She is acting rebellious towards the Lord. She thinks that the Lord has forgotten about her, and he hasn't, you know. He's waiting for you to call him up, and he's waiting for you to come back the fuck home. Okay, so that's number one. Renew your faith. Number two, you need to seek rehab. You need, I don't know what substances you're on outside of marijuana, but you need to seek rehab and you need to cleanse the spirit, right? Because all those toxicities and shit that you're putting in your body is not good for you. Along with alcohol. Any alcohol, beer, wine that you are drinking, you need to let that shit go too, right? So renew your faith, Tokyo Toni. You need to let go all toxicities that you are putting in your body. 3, you need therapy. You need therapy. A therapist will help you unpack all the trauma from your life, okay? What your mother did to you, what your father did to you, the heartbreaks. You know, what happened with Angela White's daddy. You know, you working in the club. You know all the things that you've been doing that you know you were supposed to have been stopped doing, or, you know, whatever the case the situation is. And 4, you need to seek a spiritualist, a spiritual healer, or a spirit guide, right? Those are the top 4 things I think you need. And 5, just to top it all off, I think you need to begin to love again, because your daughter needs you. I'm a mother. I honestly cannot imagine getting on the internet ever cursing my child out. I don't care what my child has done. I'm not going to take it to the internet and curse my child out, you know. I just think that that's wrong. A lot of things can be hashed out through a conversation, through a sit down, through a phone call. You don't need to get on the internet and put the entire world and you and your child's business, and especially like that, cursing her out for the gods. So Tokyo Toni, I'm praying for you that you do receive the help that you need. I gave you a list of things that I think you should work on. It'll help you tremendously. And anybody else out in the world that, you know, you are up in age and you're still like struggling and things like that, you know, and everybody struggles, right? This is not just people in older age, you know, young people are struggling, right? I've had struggles, you know, everybody struggles. So I don't want to just like make it seem like, oh, only older people struggle. This is for anybody. If the shoe fits, the shoe fits. You know, if it resonates, take it, utilize it, and go on with your life, right? I am truly praying for the entire world, because a lot of things just has the world in a chokehold, and it's very sad. So yeah, I love you all, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.